lacking in terms of number. Kung dadagdagan pa natin, yung iba mas madaming mag-decline, and we cannot force them. Okay? Remember, ang hirap pa, pag kinuha niyo siyang advisor, hindi natin siya makukuhang panel. Kunti na nga, panel. Kasi kailangan, remember, kailangan, pag nagde-defend kasi kayo, kailangan naka-duty ako. Ang duty ko, napakakaunti. 7 oras lang. So, pinaka-viable sa akin ay Thursday. Ang available ng panel, si Dr. Almerido at si Dr. Sanchez. Papasukan pa kayo ni Dr. Sanchez kasi usually nag-office work din si Dr. Sanchez. Okay? So, remember, wala silang nakukuha out of this. Okay, on Thursday, I would just like to request the class to just provide them something to eat and something to drink. Okay? Remember, if the stomach is happy, the person is happy. Okay. So, ano ba yung role ng research advisor no? The advisor will not be the one to write. Ngunit, merong ibang advisor, talagang nanay na nanay, talagang, ganito gagawin nyo. Every step, they will, hindi, but not all the advisors are like that. Because, if you look at the role of the advisor, guide lang yan. Sasabihin lang niya what you're supposed to do, counselor lang siya, i-advise kayo as the term would suggest with regards your research. But as to the legwork, you will be the one responsible for the legwork. Hindi niyo pwedeng sisisihin yung advisor. Okay? So your advisor should be an expert. Hindi po pwede, prosto yung topic niyo, kukunin yung surgery. Oo, patay tayo niyan. Oo. Or, surgery ang topic, kukunin niyo si Dr. Martinez. Hindi po pwede. Oo. So, identify people who are more or less expert in the field that you are trying to inquire or investigate. Okay? So, magsasuggest ang panel. Okay? Take into consideration those people. Okay? I know that meron kayong favorite na CI, meron kayong ayaw na CI. So, kayo magdi-decide kung sino yung kukunin. We cannot dictate, ito ang advisor nyo. Because you might not be able to work well with the advisor. Hindi pwede nag-aaway kayo. Dapat laging relationship yan para maganda yung research nyo. Okay. Ang advisor nyo is not the person in the front. Okay? Forefront. Especially pag nagdi-defend kayo, I would suggest that you invite your advisor to come to your defense. Alam niyo, secret, hindi kayo malapastangan ng panel pag nandoon ng advisor. Pag wala advisor, lagot kayo. Kasi yan, medyo syempre deep sila doon sa advisor. Kasi alam nila, may knowledge yung advisor doon sa mga nakasulat. Hindi mo naman sasabihin in front, bakit ganyan yung ginawa niya? Oo, hindi. Pero pag wala, ganon, oo. Ako nagpapanel ako. Kung yan yung advisor, hindi mo pagalitan mo lang yan ito. Oo. Okay, laging, gagawin nyo kasi, ganito. Oo. So, we go back to the classification of research, which is 11 classifications. So, it's around 50 slides. Madami siya kasi. And you need to know the classification of research because when you write your chapter 1, they will ask you what research method you are going to use. From this 11 classification, you are going to choose one. Okay? Tatamain nyo yung choice. Doon may favorite kami. Yung classification according to time. So, yung first is according to purpose. Okay? Bakit ginagawa yung research? So, we have the predictive or the prognostic, the directive, and the illuminative research. Okay? So, kasi paus na ako, Mr. William, basahin mo ang definition.
Lahat.
Yes naman.
Predictive or prognostic research determines the future operation of the variables under investigation, controls and redirects variables for the better. Directive research determines what should be done based on the findings. Illuminative research concerned with the interaction of components of variables being investigated.
Okay. The definition or the description is quite clear. Okay? Pag sinabi natin predictive, so these are type of research that will help you tell what will happen in the future, or prognostic. So with the research, masasabi mo this particular study of ours will tell you if yung result will be good or bad. Okay? So yun sa directive, nandun na yung findings, ang concern nyo is what you will do about the findings. Yung directive. Yung illuminative, ang gagawin nyo dito, para siyang correlational eh. It's more of identifying the interaction of the components of your research. Ano yung relasyon nila sa isa't isa. Okay? Pero sabi ng mga experts, ganito namin gusto i-classify ang research. Kaya ang dami niyang classification. Actually, you would notice some similarity with other classifications. Ay wala tayong magagawa. Sabi ng experts, yan daw yan. Okay, the second is according to goal. So, may basic or pure research. Wala, gusto lang namin mag-research. It's purist yan. Yan yung mga ginagawa nila Einstein. Magre-research lang sila. Just to have that particular basic knowledge. And the second is the applied. Yung mga ginawa nila Einstein, yung sumunod na mga experts, actually applied it to something. Okay? So, kunyari, kayo, you did a basic or pure research by identifying what particular dahon or sanga that is effective for killing off Streptococcus mutans. You can do an applied research by trying to use it, okay? In the form of toothpaste, merong application, okay? So that is your basic in your applied research. And then the next is the level of investigation, okay? So ano yung level? Exploratory, descriptive, and experimental. Okay? Siyempre, in terms of yung level niya, ang pinaka, bakit ganyan ang letra ko? A, B, A. So, walang section C, So, ang pinaka difficult yan, in terms of the level of investigation, is the experimental. Okay? Now, so, exploratory studies the variables pertinent to a specific situation. So, specific lang kayo, identify the variables, napaka-basic ng research when it comes to your exploratory. Okay? You are basically trying to find answers to your what. Okay? And then yung descriptive studies the relationship of the variables. Okay? Ito yung tipong meron na kayo ng exploratory, you will try to correlate yung interaction ng mga variables. And yung experimental, ito, may variable ka, pero kaya mas tawag mo dito, it's more of a cause and effect type of research. Meron kang variable, ano kaya ang mangyayari pag pinutok ko ang logo? Diba? Magugulat ba? Diba? It's a question of what will happen. Okay? When we talk about experiment. And then, according to the type of analysis. So, yung analytical approach, mapapansin niyo ang difference niya. Pag analytical, it zooms in into the specific of the research. Okay? While yung holistic, ito, titignan niyo muna from a large point of view. Okay? Mataas dental caries ng Pilipinas. That's the holistic view of the condition of dental caries in the Philippines or ang health status. And then, sa holistic kasi, meron kang general view, then you will go to the specifics. Okay? So, according to scope, so may action and firing line or on-the-job research. Yung sa action research, may problema. Okay? So, kulang ang CI. Problema. So, yung research nyo, you are going to research what you can do. Okay? For this particular problem. Hahanap kayo ng sagot through the research or probable things that will solve the problem at hand. Okay? So, firing line or on-the-job research, okay? Usually, ginagamit ko ng mga educators. Okay? At yung mga nakakataas sa akin. Yung mas malalaki yung sweldo. Okay? So, ang ginagawa ng on-the-job research is, ang intent dito is to improve the quality, okay, of their decisions and actions. So, based on the research, ito yung gagawin namin decision. Dadamihan ko ba ang franchise ko ng Jollibee o hindi? Isasara ba namin itong franchise na to o hindi? Lilipat ko ba ng ibang floor o hindi? These are your types of on-the-job research. So, according to choice of answers to problems. Okay? So, evaluation research and developmental research. Okay, Mr. Fabon?
Letter A, evaluation research. All possible courses of action are specified and identified, and the researchers tries to find the most advantageous. B, developmental research focuses on the findings or developing a more suitable instrument or process that has been available.
Okay. So, ito is just two types of research based on your attack or your method of solving the problems at hand. Okay? So, pag sinabi natin evaluation research, andito na yung probable answer, mamimili ka ng most advantageous. Okay? In the developmental research, okay, so findings are developing a more suitable instrument or process that has been available. So, andyan na yung process, identify mo lang kung ano ang most usable for your particular situation at hand. Okay? Kaya yan yung human resource and development. Okay, meron yan, research and development pala. Okay? So, kaya yan, most of the time, this particular section in a company, ang number one problem nila is developmental research. Okay? So, from yung existing things that they have to improve. Okay? Actually, pinakamahirap yan eh. Kasi, improve ka ng improve para kotse, di ba? So, paano pa i-improve ang kotse? Palilitan, ganito na lang, tapos papagpag mo, magiging malaking kotse. That's why you would notice that every year, naiiba lang naman yung korte ng ilaw, ano? Oo. Anong difference? Sabi ko sa pamangkin ko, Tita, look at the light, it's different. Sabi ko, lagyan ko lang ng sticker yun sa'yo, di different na. Oo. So, ganun rin, pati yung cellphone nyo. Okay? So, it is usually a result of developmental research. So, according to statistical content, yung ayaw na ayaw nyo. Kaya, during your research process, I told you, you have to hire a statistician. Okay? You can do the hiring for the entire class. yung buong klase, meron kayong statistician, kung po pwede, biostatistician. Bakit? Pag hindi kasi biostatistician, they know statistics but not in application to the human body. Paminsan, clueless sila doon, kaya iba kami ng paningin on what statistical method should be used. Okay? Kasi may counting difference. Di ba may statistics kayo? Biostat meron. Nakita niyo yung difference, though may, we usually use the same statistical treatment, but yung application ng treatment yung iba. Okay? So, quantitative or qualitative research. When we talk about quantitative, ito yung kayang bilangin. We make researches in consideration for our statistics that could be counted. Kaya inferential statistic nabibilang. Okay? So yung qualitative, ang problema, ang qualitative kasi is difficult research to do. Meron yan descriptive research. Like for example, you cannot really quantify pain or love or hope. Yung mga ganon. Kaya nga, ang ginagawa nila, nagsiscale tayo. In scale of 1 to 10, ano po yung pain nyo? Pero, kuminsan, yung pain ng 5, ni Mr. Junio, sa akin, 8 na yun. Diba? So, hindi quantifiable, hindi mo nabibilang talaga. Kuminsan lang, gusto lang natin bilangin. That's why we assign numbers to certain things. But actually, hindi mo naka-quantify. Ito yung tinatawag natin descriptive data lang. Kasi kunyari mga experiences mo ng pag-abroad, the beautiful sight of ganyan. Paano mo ikaw quantify? Bilangin mo kung ilan yung beautiful sight. Diba? Hindi mo mabibilang yun kasi hindi quantifiable ang term na beautiful. Okay? So usually sa mga anthropological studies yan, ginagawa. Hindi naman sasabihin sa anthropology merong 5 patay, di ba? Hindi. So, according to time element, ito yung favorite na ginagawa natin, gamitin. Because it is an easier type of research according to time element, yung historical, descriptive, experimental. This is the reason why also you would notice that there will be a lengthier discussion of this particular type of research. Okay? So, ito po. So, pag sinabi nga natin descriptive, the question you will just have to ask is, what is? What is existing? So, kunyari, yung mga research na ng assessment of the oral health status. Okay? Existing naman yung oral health status nila eh, di ba? Hahanapin mo na. Yung assessment of the intelligence quotient of female dentistry student. Nawawala ba yung intelligence quotient niya? Hindi, di ba? Nandoon naman eh. You just have to find out. This is your descriptive research. So majority of your researches are descriptive research. Kayo doon naglalaro. Okay? So another description. So a design which describes the nature of a situation as it exists at the time of the study to explore the course of a particular phenomenon. So again, merong, like for example, the phenomena of, anong tawag mo dito? Phenomena of failing a subject. Okay? So how do you find out? Existing naman yung mga grades nyo, di ba? existing naman yung mga pakiramdam nyo or perception nyo on why you fail the particular subject. So that is an example of descriptive method. Okay? Yung mga assessment of, a study of, an evaluation of descriptive. Okay? So this is the most widely used type of design and method. Okay? So there are, these are the purposes of doing a descriptive research. So you gather the information about the present. So presently existing kasi dapat yung sitwasyon. Okay? Hindi nakaraan, hindi bukas, but presently existing. So to improve the current conditions and planning for the future. So ano ang advantage? So madaling gamitin, okay? It has a lot of practical applications sa ating buhay, pang-araw-araw, and accomplish desired purpose in the shortest available time. Kaya gustong-gusto natin ginagamit to. Okay? Especially sa atin, wherein time is of essence. Dahil meron kayong deadline. If you are given, sabi ko, sige po, pwede niyong gawin in 20 years. We can opt to use other research method. Pero kung gusto niyo mabilisan, descriptive. So, scientific because it makes use of statistical procedure, otherwise it is only an information gathering activity. So, kaya hindi lang siya parang yung nag-gather ng information para malaman kung yung barekang sabon ay okay o hindi. Because we are going to use statistical analysis for our data, then it becomes a scientific, systematic investigation. Okay? Anong disadvantage niya? Madaling i-misuse. Paano? Alam niyo yung mga pulse survey sa mga kandidato? Diyan na diyan nila gustong gamitin ang descriptive research or misinformation. Okay? So, provides limited information kasi nga, you are just dealing with the present. Pag sabi mo, paano kung ganyan? Hindi, ibang research yun. Meron siyang constraint. Okay? Participant might not give much attention to the study, thus affecting its validity. Ang problema natin dito, kasi hindi nakarata yung pasyente natin at inaaral natin para yung general anatomy nyo, yung kanto, ay wala kayong cadaver, may cadaver kami dati, takot na yung first day, minute na minute sabi na, andyan na yung cadaver natin, nakikita mo, pinapasok yung paano ko. Ayun. Tapos per group, hati kayong ganon. Isang group dito, isang group dyan. Tapos tatanggalin nyo ng skin. Bumusan nyo ng chloroform. Yun yung nakakaubod talaga. Yung una, takot na takot ka kasi alam mong tao. Nung later part, ano na lang, muscle, bone, parang nakalimutan na namin tao yung tinitingnan namin. Nung una, pagdasal kami ng dasal. Dating na ng 5 o'clock, takbuhan na kami, wala nang matitira sa laboratory, kahit hanggang 6 kami. Hindi na namin naaral. Pagdating ng papainan, hanggang alas 8 na gaganyan kami. Kasi ang dami pang aaralin. So, yung problem natin with descriptive research is that we are under the graces of our respondents. Ka-questionnaire mo yan, pag kalahati lang yung sinagutan, patay ka. Pag ayaw sumagot, no, I'm busy. Yung ganyan mo, please. No? Or pinagsasarahan ka ng pinto, may ganyan yan, especially yung mag-i-interview ng mga dentista. Medyo mahirap. So, if there is a discrepancy in the method by which your respondents or your subject answers or participated in your research, questionable kung valid o hindi yung particular answer na yun. Kaya nga yan, when you present your research, number one, i-assure is the validity of the answers. Pag hindi nyo siya ma-prove, repeat performance yan. Okay? Types of descriptive. Ito, medyo madami. So, first is the case study. Alam niyo yan, no? Di ba? Usually, madaming case studies are done. Yung mga naririnig nyo, yung mga psychological case studies. But in our end, as dentists, we have also a lot of case studies. Kunyari, meron kang particular patient, medyo maganda yung case niya, class 4 na, ginawan mo pa ng ortho, pwede mong gamitin yung case study siya. Okay? So, purpose of the case study, you will have a deeper and thorough, understanding of a particular individual or group having the same characteristic. Okay? Now, you also will be able to identify the causal factors and causes of the situation of an individual. Okay? So, thus, nakaka-recommend ka ng solution, treatment plan, or developmental procedures. Okay? Kaya yan yung mga sinastudy nila ng mga case study for a very long time. Maganda yung nagiging result because specific to the case, you are able to propose certain answers to the questions at hand. So, ano bang advantage ng case study? So, as mentioned earlier, it allows you to have an in-depth study of that particular individual or particular group. Okay? Another is that mga bagong pananaw or insights can be gathered from this particular type of research. So, ano naman disadvantage? Siyempre, pag may advantage, lagi may disadvantage. Yin and yang lang yan. So, may limitation ka. Ang limitation mo, kung sino lang yung inaral mo. Okay? So, kung particular person na, having a particular case at hand, siya lang yun. Diba? So, limited lang sa kanya. And the findings, because you did a limited study on a person or one group, doon lang siya pwedeng i-generalize. So, your conclusion is only applicable to the person or to the group. Hindi siya po pwede. The population of the Philippines having class 4 should be treated with orthodontic treatment. Hindi. Sa kanya lang. Okay? So the researcher may also have a tendency to become too involved. May mga sine yan eh. May mga movies, nagagawa ng case study, tapos may in-love dun sa case study niya. Which becomes a questionable research already. Bakit? Magkakabias ka kasi pag may emotional involvement with a case study. Whether hayop yan or garapata yung inaaral, wala in love ka dun sa garapata, cute ang garapata. Oh. So, merong may tendency for being too involved. And then the next type is the survey. Survey says, Family Feud. So, it is used to see a general or specific picture of the population under investigation. So, in terms of their opinion, preference, beliefs, attitudes, perception, etc. Okay? So, mahilig yan, diba? Yung nasa-survey kayo. Diba? May mga tanong, especially pag nagbubukas ka ng TikTok, magsa-survey yan. o ng, saan ko pa ba nakikita yan? Facebook. Magsasurvey yan regarding sa sabon, sa toothpaste, di ba? And companies are using this survey for the research and development. Mas gusto mo ba yung maanghang na toothpaste? Okay? Yung walang lasang toothpaste? Mga ganon. Ano yung mga tanong nila? What brand of toothpaste or what brand of soap do you usually use? Check. Okay? Bilis lang kung minsan ilang question na. So, what are the types of survey? So, the census, yung ginagawa ng statistical office natin, wherein they will survey a very large population. Diba, ding-dong? Sa census po kami. Ilan po ang TV nyo? Ilan po yung error? Ano ba ito? Akyat bahay? Pati TV? Oo. They ask you why. They would like to determine yung status sa buhay. Okay? Ilan po yung pamilya nakatira sa bahay? Ilan po? Di ba ninenervous ka parang magnanakaw yata? Oo. Pero may ID. Oo. Kaya kung minsan tingin ako. Oo. Kung minsan nag-invento ako. Ilan po yung tao sa bahay? Dadamihan ko. Baka malaman nila kung hindi na kami sa school. Oo. Kaya incorrect yung kanyang samples. Ay, yung census. Okay. The sample survey with the term sample from the entire population, kukuha ka ng maliit na representative group. For example, for the 5th year, kukunin ko lang itong lahat na mahaba ang buhok. So, sample kayo ng 5th year. Okay? Now, advantages of survey. So, madali lang siyang gawin. It's not very complex procedure. Diba? May questionnaire ka, tatanong ka. A-answer siya, may data ka na. Okay? There is a possibility of replication. Kasi parehong questionnaire lang naman nagagamitin mo eh. Sabihin, ginawa nyo sa 5th year, gawin nyo sa 6th year. Tayo mo i-replicate. Okay? So, can use large or small sample depending on the population size. And then it can avail of questionnaire prepared by the researcher or pwedeng standardized instrument. Ano yung mga standardized natin? Yung mga IQ test, yung mga ganyan, na hindi mo na maka-question yung laman. O pwede naman yung self-made nyo. Kayong gagawa yan, you have to do validity testing. Kasi dapat, alam natin na valid yung questions. Okay? Siyempre, may disadvantage. Yung possibility of high returns. Di ba nakwento ko sa inyo, kaya 2 taon ako nagde-data gathering. Okay? Na inisip ko sa utak ko kasi madali lang to, online lang naman to, send ko, tapos sasagot sila. No. Imagine nyo, sa 100 na sinend ko online, 2 lang yung bumalik. So, I had to do the legwork. Pumunta personally doon sa lahat ng convention. Sa lahat ng convention, Metro Manila, Laguna, nagpupunta ako, PDA, nagbibigay ako ng questionnaire. Ang intended ko, 200 something. Ang nakuha ko lang after 2 years, 80 something. Ganon kahirap. Okay? So, yun yung isang disadvantage. Kung minsan naman, babalik kasi sa'yo, kulang yung answer, di tatapon mo yun. Kasi kung sa utak mo, ayusin ko na lang to. Yung yung result mo is not going to be very accurate. Kasi, siya, erroneous na yun eh. Then there is likewise the possibility that assertion made by the respondents in the questionnaires may not be true or correct. Ang disadvantage kasi rin sa survey, isang disadvantage, nakasalalay ang success ng research mo doon sa ganda ng questionnaire mo. If the questionnaire has some weak points, and so your research obviously will have weaknesses. So dapat maganda yung pagkagawa niyo ng questionnaire. Complete, okay, in terms of yung intent of the research. Natanong nyo lahat yung gusto nyo malaman. Kasi kung minsan, nagdi-defend na ng research nila, madidiscover ng panel may kulang na tanong. Kaya may instances para hindi umulit ng research, iniiba yung title para umayon doon sa questions or the statement of the problem. Mabait kasi yung panel nyo. Sa ibang ano yan, ulit ka, hindi ka gagraduate. Okay? So, ganun lang yan. So, number 3, there is a possibility that the instrument prepared by the researcher may be inadequate or insufficient to gather data for the study. So, may kakulang. So, the third type of research, descriptive research, is developmental. So, sa developmental, what you want here are add-on reliable information about a certain group. Okay? So, ang ano mo nito, ang difference ito, ginagawa natin siya sa long period of time. Okay? Kumbaga, ang pedya mo, iintay mo hanggang maging 18 years old. Okay? Observing the oral cavity. Okay? So, there are two types. Longitudinal method. Okay. Parehong sample participant, parehong example ko. Yung pedya mo, you will observe from 1 year old to 18 years old. Okay? Ayan. Observing same subject from babyhood to adolescent. So, tinitingnan mo yung oral health status ng bata from 1 hanggang maging adult. So that is what you call longitudinal method. Kaya nga, itong particular na developmental research, kailangan mo mahabang panahon. Kung minsan ka nakamatayan na ng researcher, hindi natatapos. So somebody else would continue the research. Yung cross-sectional, so, example nito, may mga bata kayong kaya lang, kunyari, kayo, in-observe ko kayo, yung section nyo, from babyhood to childhood, may isa pang grupo, ganun rin. Okay? So, same level, observation, pero of two groups. Okay? Multiple groups. So, syempre may advantages na naman. Okay? So, advantage dito gives a detailed and accurate description of the object or the person. Okay? So, syempre, may disadvantage din ang developmental studies. More time, more money, more effort. For 18 years mo ino-observe, every year pupuntahan mo, pag hindi naman mas mahal ito, di ba? Okay. Ang problema, kung minsan, in-observe mo, pagbalik mo, ay wala na po. Lumipat na po sa ibang bansa. Patay ka, tapos na research mo. Di ba? Parang yung pedya nyo, di ba, nawawala. Yung pre nawawala. Developmental research ang itawag nyo sa complications nyo. Nawawala in time. May isa ng super senior, sabi sa akin, nagmungoy-ngoy. Nawala po yung compre ko. Ano na lang ba gagawin mo? Endo, tapos na po lahat. Sabi kami, nasaan? Nagtatago na po. Sabi ko, ang problem kasi sa mga pasyente, once you alleviate the pain or the reklamo, siguro reklamo ng pasyente niya, wala siyang postiso. Nilagyan na niya ng postiso, mag-e-endo na lang siya. nawala na. Bakit? Wala na rin sakit yung endo niya eh. Pinal-extirpate na niya. Kaya kung minsan sinasabi, huwag mo masyado gandahan yung ano, later mo na lang ikabit yung ano, postizo para bumalik. Meron kasi isang pasyente, isang estudyante, nag-ano siya, naggawa siya ng postizo. Yung upper ng postizo, okay, yung lower may problema. Sabi ko, relab yung lower. Sabi niya, ma'am, papauwi ko na po yung upper. Sabi ko, ganito anak, ganyan, kausapin muna kita. Maganda na siya, baka hindi bumalik sa'yo. Sabihin mo, kailangan na yung upper para ano, magawa yung lower. Kasi matadala na niya eh. Hindi naman halata masyari kasi posterior lang yung lower. Pag humingit, ang ganda na niya, oh, may ngipin na. Sa tingin mo, mamaya magrarason na yan. Hindi babalik sa'yo. Ikaw, padala muna. Bilisan mo lang gawain yung lower para walang changes pa siya. Kasi nga, ganun kasi ang psyche ng mga pasyente. So, unahan nyo rin. Huwag yan, ay ma'am, may i-a-adjust pa po. Oh, padala mo yung complete denture, kahit may adjustment, pinakakinis pa sa'yo, hindi na babalik yun. Patay ka ngayon. O, wala kang grade. Okay. So, the next is the follow-up study. So, as the name would tell you, follow-up. So, intends to investigate subsequent development of participant after a specified treatment or condition. So, inano mo na yan, binigyan mo ng treatment, okay? If a follow-up mo for you to know what is the effect. Okay? Or pwede yung study, kunyari, nung 3 years old siya, may follow-up ka pag 10 years old na. Okay? It's the same research, nag-oral health status ka lang, wala namang treatment eh. Okay? So, it's still a follow-up study. Okay? Okay, advantage of follow-up findings will be more beneficial to participants and researchers. Okay? Kaya yung doktor nyo gusto may follow-up. Number 1, may kita siya dahil sisigilin ka na naman ng consultation fee. Number 2, malalaman niya if the treatment actually works. Okay? If you are actually getting better. Ganun rin sa research. So, disadvantage of follow-up studies, data are difficult to obtain. Bakit? Minsan nga, hindi bumabalik yung pasyente, paano mo ipa-follow up? Yan yung number 1 problem namin, yung recall system. Kunyari, yung postizo, recall mo after dapat a day para malaman, after a week, then after a month. Oo. Yung a day, the next day, sobrang ligaya, may postizo na. Kasi may trabaho ko kasi nag-a-apply ako kasi mag-a-abroad ako. Patay ko ng recall. Yun yung mga mahirap sa atin, yung nag-recall. Kahit nga yan, sila yung nagbabayad sa'yo. Kayo kasi libre. So, hindi, yung sense of responsibility of the patient is a little bit questionable. Kasi hindi sila dapat indebted sa'yo pero hindi sila feeling indebted. Feeling entitled sila. Kasi kailangan nyo ako Diba? Yung iba pa-presyo, diba? Pag alam nilang kailangan mo. Dati, sisigilan mo yan sa'yo, pang-angkas niya ng 100. Ay, umakyat. Umiikot kasi yung angkas. 500. O, sabi ko, pag ganyan, piniperahan na kayo. Tigilan nyo. Diba? Installation na. Ay, nako, sakit sa ulo. So, no control over the subjects when it comes to follow-up studies. Not unless itatali nyo sa dental chair nyo. Tapos, nandoon for a month para ma-follow up nyo siya. Okay? Di ba, puro may nakatali doon. Ano yan? Ang follow up ko, recall 1 day. Ayan po, andyan siya. Generally, not an in-depth study. Okay? So, another is comparative study. Alam nyo how what a comparative study between the IQ of female dental students from male dental students. Okay, anong result? Anong result? Ang IQ, almost the same. But bakit nagsusurvive ang babae? Because of other factors other than the IQ. Passion, tiyaga. Oh. Ang lalaki kasi madaling mabuisit. Oh. Ayoko na. This is it. Okay, purpose of comparative studies. Kasi ang babae, ang difference natin, we start with the details. Kaya mas maano tayo, mapurili tayo sa details. Yung lalaki, they see the world as a big picture. Yung malakihan. So, ang nangyayari dyan, madali sila mabuisit kasi kita nila lahat. Ang babae na ma-focus muna dun sa yung sinampay mong maduming di ba? Lahat yan yung details, yung minute details, nakikita ng babae yan. So, sabi nga, talagang wired differently ang babae at lalaki. Kaya, mahal na mahal mo yung lalaki para magkasundo kayo. Kasi you are both wired different. So, nag-give and take yan. So, types. So, the next is correlational. When we talk of correlational, ano yung relasyon ng dalawang variable? Okay? What is the relation of IQ, okay, to economic status? Yung matatalino ba, mayayaman, o does not matter? Okay? So, correlate nyo yung dalawang variables. So, a correlational determines the magnitude and direction of relationship, the variation among variables, the influence of one variable with another. Okay? So, anong purpose? Bakit nagko-correlational study tayo? To test certain hypotheses between two or more variables. Gusto natin malaman anong relasyon. Okay? So, to explore relationship between variables. So, number 7, sabi ko sa inyo, 11 po. So, documentary or content analysis. Ito, madaling hindi. Okay? Kunyari, your research has something to do with the performance of sixth-year clinician in their clinical, in a clinical interval. Paano nyo mag-gauge ang performance? Grade sa clinic. Nasaan ang grade sa clinic? Nasa registrar. So, ano gagawin nyo? Nagawa kayo ng letter para kunin yung grade, documents lang ang kausap nyo, walang tao. That's why you call it a documentary analysis. Okay? There are researches that does that. Documents lang ang kailangan. Kaya, minsan, ginagawa namin, may mga researches kami regarding performance in the board exam. Ang ginagawa namin, nire-request namin yung performance ng estudyante. Ang pwede lang mag-request ng performance ng students are the schools. Hindi pa pwedeng individual person dahil malalaman mo kung ano yung grade niya sa specific subject. Kaya alam namin na estudyante na, galing na sa resto. Ito na okay sa kanta nito, hindi ito magaling dati. So, ganun yun. Nagdo-documentary analysis ka, wala kang kausap na tao. Papil lang. Okay? So, we call that the documentary or content analysis. And then, ang parang, lumala. And then, the trend analysis. So, sa trend, ipo-content kung ano yung sa future na mangyayari. Okay? So, ang mga advertising agency does a lot of trend analysis. Thank you very much. So what they do, they also get information from yung nakaraan, okay? And they make a study to more or less tell what the trend will be in the future. Okay? So, ang tawag mo nun ay trend analysis. So, short term, okay? And the long term. Less reliable because many different circumstances may, beyond one's control may occur. Ang problema sa pagre-research, dapat iniisip mo yung kung minsan, pag nagpo-formulate ka ng questions, hindi mo naiisip na sometimes the result may have been influenced by other factors. Parang pag kunyari, nagsa-study kayo ng, for example, dental caries. Sasabihin nyo, sige, aralin natin kung effective na hindi umiinom ng matamis. Hindi magkakaroon ng dental caries. Nothing talaga. Pero, hindi mo itinake into consideration there are other factors that may come into play other than just the diet on the sugar. Okay? So, ganun yun. Pag naglo-long-term trend analysis kasi, sa sobrang haba, factors may have influence the result that you are going to study after a period of time. Okay? So, yun yung malamang na disadvantage. And then, alam nyo itong feasibility study. Okay? Iniisip natin that the businesses are the only organization that does feasibility study. Kahit kayong dentista, dapat nag-feasibility study kayo kung saan nyo ilalagay yung clinic nyo. Kasi, sabi niya, bakit kaya wala akong masyadong pasyente? Yung feasibility study. Napapansin niyo kung minsan dun sa kanto or kung saan man, nagaganon-ganon sila ng taong dumadaan. O kaya yung nag-cross doon sa bridge. Pansinin niyo ang ginagawa. Bawat daan ganun. What they are doing is they are conducting a feasibility study regarding the number of people that usually would go in that area. Okay? So, titignan mo yung at the same time, kung minsan yan, nag-i-interview yan, okay? Yung lahat ng taong dumadaan sa area yun to ascertain the economic status or the status more or less of people in that area. Pansinin niyo si Jollibee ang galing mag-feasibility study. Itatayo niya yan kahit sa palengke yan, kahit sa Ang Shumart, pansinin niyo, nag-feasibility study yan. Ang galing niyan, gagawan niya yan ng bridge, gagawan niya yan ng just to make people come to the store. Diba? Gagawin niya, lalagay niya yung bridge wherein mas madali pumunta doon kaysa sa umikot. So, gagawin niya ma-shortcut, di mapupunta ka ngayon doon sa store. So, they study that. Pansinin niyo kahit yung ma-display, inaaral nila yon. Gagawin nila, pansinin niyo sa toy section, anong unang makikita niyo? Pagkain. Pag pumasok kayo sa toy section, may mga pagkain, chocolate, ganyan. Usually nga, ano yung mga chocolate ito? Hindi ko na makilala. Yung mga slow-moving chocolates nila at chichirya, lalagay nila doon. Kasi yung bata wala namang kumisang pakailam sa brand yan eh. Basta chocolate chichirya. Okay? They do feasibility study for that. Okay? Kayo rin, gumawa kayong feasibility study sa tatayo niyong Minsan iniisip nyo, maganda sa mall. Kaya lang kung minsan yung mall, lalagay ko doon sa katutok-tok-tok-tokan ng hindi dinadaanan ng tao. O di by appointment pa rin. Wala masyadong walk-in. Anyway, nakakatakot rin naman yung walk-in. Okay. Purposes of feasibility study to find out the viability of a proposed undertaking. So, may proposal, magtatayo ng clinic dyan sa kantong yan. Will it work or not? Okay, you have to do a feasibility study. It will also serve as a basis for deciding whether an undertaking is to be pursued. Okay? So, may lupa ang CEO dun sa kanto sa likod ng Shell petrol station. Ewan ko kung nag-feasibility study sila kung maganda ang building doon. Bumamaha. Oo. Sabi ko, bibili lang ng lupa doon pa sa bumamaha. Ewan ko kung nag-feasibility study. Doon yata napunta yung masweldo namin. So, okay. Easy to generate data. Kasi kung minsan, ang study mo lang, ilang tao yung dumadaan, ganun ka lang, di ba? Factors for projection to remain constant are assumed, okay? And helps in decision making, and it is very important in all the plannings and decisions for a particular organization, or even for you as a future owner of a dental clinic. Disadvantage: probability of adverse factors present is very great. Because sometimes, yung adverse factors, hindi natin consider doon sa feasibility study. Example, nag-feasibility study ka ng summer. Okay, daming tao dumadaan. Pag tag-ulan pala, walang taong dadaan kasi bumabaha. Okay? So, complexities of feasibility study. Okay? And then sometimes data may be difficult to obtain. Kung kailangan nyo mag-interview, baka mas mahirap i-obtain na data. And then the appraisal. Study which gives an expert judgment on the merit or value of a particular thing. So, yun yung i-appraise mo. Study that would appraise a particular program, a particular product. Okay? So, you call that an appraisal study. And then, ito na ang huli, ang descriptive research. Assessment or evaluation studies. Diba? Nilalagay niya, evaluation of the, assessment of the, it's a type of descriptive study. Pag nag-assess, nag-evaluate. Okay? So, this particular type would refer to the efficiency or effectiveness of a particular policy object. Okay? So, ayun yung ina-assess nyo. Okay? Or ina-evaluate nyo. The term assessment is more used than the word evaluation. Okay? So, kasi pag sinabi mong evaluation, para bang nag-e-exam ka, it's a more rigid and a more very formal term that sometimes would make your participant worry or takot sumagot kasi, ay, evaluation, exam ba yan? Oo. So, some researchers would either opt to use the word assessment. Okay. So, tapos na ang types of descriptive. Then we go to historical research. So, pwede ba ang historical research sa ating particular expertise, which is dentistry? Yes. Pwede historical research nyo, yung history ng dentistry dito sa Pilipinas, history ng handpiece, okay? History ng kung ano man yung ginagamit natin. Okay? So, yung what is yung descriptive, okay? Ito, yung what was, the past. Okay? So, you're going to make inquiries regarding things that happened before. Okay? So, ang problema, kasi nakaraan, you will have to look for data. Okay? So, yung saan nyo gahanapin yung information? So, pwede sa written sources, oral transmitted materials, artistic productions, tape recordings, relics and remains, both physical and non-physical. Okay? With, doon sa sources of data nyo, meron tayong two types, yung primary at secondary. Okay, tapos nyo na. Okay. I'm sorry. Laban naman. Okay. Yung primary source of data, these are taken from first-hand witness. Ako po yung nakakita ng ngipin ni Jose Rizal. Oo. Ako. Witness. Okay? Now, yung secondary data, okay, so, ito yung mga data where na-chismis lang niya, narinig lang niya, nabasa lang niya. Okay? So, these are secondary data. We use the secondary data if the primary data is nowhere to be found. But, you have to take into consideration that when you use secondary data, there is a tendency for error. Kasi narinig lang. Okay? Sinabi lang ng nakakita. Okay? Kaya, kung po pwede, primary source of data. So, there are critical analysis kasi kailangan nyong malaman kung totoo nga yung kinukuha nyong data. Baka mamaya, ano lang yan, inimbento lang. Diba there are a lot of fake, okay, archaeological findings. Yung pinapaniwala tayo for the longest period of time just to be told, hindi daw totoo. Oo, gutom na gutom ka na. Ano? Sige, lumabas ka muna kung kakain ka. So, in the critical analysis of historical data, you are going to determine their authenticity. Okay? Totoo ba siya o hindi? Or genuineness of the data. Parang baglong yan. Naglulibid doon. Oo. Dapat ma-determine nyo kung genuine or authentic yung data nyo. Kasi kung minsan, kala nyo kahit first-hand witness, pwede siya magsinungaling, mag-invento. Okay? So there are two types, external criticism and the internal criticism. Okay, when you are evaluating your historical data. So in the external criticism, so used to determine authenticity and genuineness of historical data. So, yung historical data, let's say, binigyan kayo ng libro, carbon date niya siya, i-ano niyo yung kung authentic talaga yung libro niyo. Okay? Now, there are several factors that you will have to see, okay, in your external criticism. So, authorship, time, place, purpose, circumstances or composition, and part of the document is true to the original. So you have to take into consideration all these factors for you to say that it is a genuine or authentic data. Okay? Kaya yan, madami yan, especially for archaeological researches. Kung papel yan, kina-carbon date pa nila yan. Di ba yung Shroud of Turin? Madaming controversies yan. If you're a Catholic or a Christian at that, yung Shroud of Turin, sinasabi nila, the cloth, okay, kinarbon date nila, medyo bago. Kung binalot daw yan kay Christ, dapat parehong time during the existence of Christ. Baka daw ibang tao. Sabi ko, naku, sinasamba pa, inaano pa naman, bine-venerate. But syempre, they are saying otherwise. Okay? Na ano daw, tama daw yung, mali daw yung carbon dating or ano. Ay, lagi nga nagkaka-controversy ang mga ganyan. Okay? Because the advantage of the technology kasi makes it more easier to determine the authenticity. Kasi noon, baka yung method for carbon dating, may questions, okay? At the same time, naaral niyo ba yung tungkol sa Tasadice? Hindi niyo na narinig, right? Because when I was studying during the 70s, si Elizalde said that he discovered a primitive group of Filipinos somewhere in Mindoro, I'm not sure kung saan. And they called them Tasadites. Sobra daw walang influence ng outside world na napaka-primitive nila. Okay? Only to discover after some time, hoax na pala yun. Pagbalik nung, kasi sabi nga sa inyo, ang research has to be repeatable. Marirepeat mo. Nung binalikan ng ibang foreign, nakakayama foreign researchers pa. Kita nila yung mga tasanay, naka-t-shirt, So, hindi siya primitive group of the Philippines. Maybe then, primitive sila, pero kasi ang sinasabi, wala daw talaga influence ng outside world, which is not true. So, with further researches, madidispute yung sinasabing through yung factors of external criticism. Then, ano yung purpose para masabi nyo kung forgery siya or hoaxes? Para masabi natin yung tamang authorship and time. Incorrect borrowings. Madami yung mga incorrect borrowings, especially yung mga speeches ng mga well-known people. Sasabihin nila, speech ni Abraham Lincoln. If you go back, hindi pala siya speech ni Abraham Lincoln. May portion lang doon ng speeches ni Abraham Lincoln. And then inventions and distortions, like the Tasadites. May distortion na ginawa. Then we go to the internal. Siyempre, may external, may internal. So, in the internal, nasabi niyo na authentic siya, genuine siya, in terms of its physical properties. Ang sunod, yung internal criticism, yung value ng particular type of data. Ayun naman ang kaya tawag natin internal criticism. So, ayun. So, characteristic of your historical research. Observation in historical research cannot be repeated in the same manner as in the experimental or descriptive research. Okay? So it's a little bit harder, okay, to do a repeat of the historical. For example, archaeological, okay? Siyempre, gugupit ka, babasag ka doon sa para ma-study, ma-physically study, para ma-determine yung authenticity. Mag-script ka, di ba ginagawa nila yon? To study the components of the things that they have discovered. So, marirepeat mo pa ba kung binasag mo na? Hindi na. Oo. So, hindi repeatable. Hindi ganon, hindi kasi nasabi hindi repeatable. It's not easy to repeat. Okay? Because of the availability of the first data. So the research must find satisfaction in spending vast amount of time in the library kasi hahanapin nyo yung dating mga sources and in pursuing minute details in relation to the topic under study. So kunyari ang study nyo is with the equipment of dentists from the first practice in the Philippines. So hahanapin nyo ngayon yan sa mga archive. Okay? Kung minsan pupunta pa kayo sa Spanish Embassy, sa Indonesian Embassy because they have information. Okay? Sa Chinese rin, meron. So, historical project is usually conducted by one person. Okay? But, madaming historical rin that are performed by the group. Ang problema lang yan, yung away-away within the investigating group. Okay? Kasi medyo high ang emotions when you are doing a research. So, we do not use hypothesis. Okay? Writing style tends to be more flexible because most of the time, qualitative type ng research na ginagamit. So data or often ideas, concept, and opinions, and thus in conclusions, generalization, and influences become more subjective. Okay? Kasi nga, mas qualitative type of writing ang ginagamit for historical. Okay? So, sa huling type, okay, we call this the method of research experimental. So, some of you will do experimental research. Okay? So, ito yung what will be in the future. Hindi mo mababalikan in the past, wala in the present, no data is available because you are going to create the data. Okay? Gusto mo malaman ano ang effect ng disclosive solution kapag naiinom ng pedo patient. Okay? Available na ba? Wala? Okay? So, hahanapin mo yung data by doing experimentation. With the experiments, laging sinasabi yung variables. Okay? Kaya manipulation of variables. There are two types of variables, your dependent and the independent variable. So, anong difference? So, let's go to what is a variable first. Okay? Pagod na ako. Miss Legaspi, basahin mo naman.
What is a variable? Simply something that varies. Specifically, variables represent person or objects that can be manipulated, controlled, or merely measured for the sake of research. Variation, how much a variable varies, those with little variation are called constants.
So, pag may isang bagay na kayang i-vary, okay, we call this yung variable natin. Pag yung isa, kahit anong gawin mo, hindi siya nag-iiba, we call this a constant. Okay? Now, yung two types of variable is the independent and the dependent variable. When we talk of independent variable, okay, ito yung kinokontrol ng researcher. Pinapalaki, pinapaliit, pinapainit, pinapalamig. Okay? This is what yung variable na to is the one that is being controlled by the researcher. Hindi pinapakain, hindi pinapatoothbrush. So, ang tawag doon, independent variable. So, most of the time, iniisip nyo, isa lang siya, kung pwedeng madami, yung independent variable. Okay? Madami. Kung pwede yung independent variable nyo, oras. Okay? Kung pwedeng exposure, kung gano'ng katagal i-expose. So, those are examples of your independent variable. So, yung dependent variable are not controlled or manipulated. Okay? But instead are simply measured or registered. For example, ipin is your dependent variable. Ang independent variable nyo, let's say yung etchan. Yun yung pinapatagalan nyo, kino-concentrate, di ba? So that is the independent. Kasi yun yung kino-control, iniiba-iba mo. So, these are the usual steps in conducting your experimental study. So, in-identify nyo na yung topic nyo or your problem, formulate the hypothesis. When you are doing an experimental research, may hypothesis. Okay? So, ano ang hypothesis?
Yes.
Yung sasagutan yung tanong. Okay? Or sasagutan yung konsepto. So, sasabihin nyo, yung hypothesis mo, there is no significant difference between the IQ of female and male dental student. Ang gagawin nyo sa conclusion nyo is to accept and or reject. Okay? So, pwede yun. So, number 3, ito, you will construct an experimental design. So, ano nandito? Mag-identify kayo who will be your sample subject. Garapata ba yan? Tao? Okay? Ngipin? Okay? Ang tawag dito, bacteria? Okay? Group or pair of subjects. Okay? And then, you are going to, kasi kung minsan, na-select mo yung sample na yan, are you going to group the samples into male and female? Are you going to pair the sample? So you have to decide what to do. Identify and control non-experimental factors. So kunyari, nag-etch kayo ng ngipin, okay? You have to control the other factors that may affect your experiment, pero hindi naman siya kasama sa experiment niyo. Okay? Then, select or construct and validate instrument to measure outcomes. So, you are going to validate, okay, your research instrument to make sure of its validity, of its accuracy. Okay? Conduct pilot study, so itatrial nyo. And then determine place, time, and duration of the experiment. Okay? Number 4, you conduct the actual experiment. After the experiment, compile your data and reduce it to usable form. Okay? Hindi lang kasi kunin nyo yung data. Dapat yung data, kaya kailangan nyo yung statistician. The statistician will reduce the data into your usable form of data. Ibig sabihin, mai-interpret nyo yung data. Okay? And apply appropriate test or significance for the data. So, yan yung nakakita nyo Pearson's, yung mga ganyan, ng mga statistical check. Okay? So, these are the 4 steps of the process of experimental research: forming hypothesis, deciding a study, analyzing the data, and then sharing the findings. So, by doing your oral presentation, minsan sumasali kami sa mga competition ng oral presentations. This is a method for you to share your findings. Okay? Another method is through the poster presentation. Okay? So, essential for experimental research: manipulation, control, and observation. Okay? And yung tandaan nyo, you should be able to manipulate your independent variable well. Okay? And then, attempt is made to hold all other variables except the dependent variable constant. Hindi pa pwede, testingan mo yung ngipin, pagbalik ng pasyente, wala na yung ngipin, pinabunot. Okay? Hindi pa pwede, nag-iiba-iba. Oh, so ma'am, hindi na pala central ang gagamitin ko dito sa pasyente itong lateral. Sabihin mo, hindi po pwede kasi lahat ng subjects mo, central incisor ang gagamitin natin. What will happen to the subject? Tatanggalin nyo from the experiment. Okay? Kasi dapat constant yung dependent variable. And then yung observation, effect is observed of the manipulation of independent and on the dependent variable. Yung observation nyo kung minsan, kaya nagkakaroon ng inter-examiner testing kasi yung tumitingin lang, presence or absence of caries, kung minsan questionable yun eh. Kasi nagtatalo kayo, may lesion, walang lesion, wala. So, nagkakaroon ng computation saying na yung mag-observe will perceive the thing the same. Okay? Kasi factor rin yan, magkaiba yung tingin nyo. So, validity of experimental design, may internal validity, external validity. Ay, napapagod na ako. Did the experimental treatment make the difference in this specific instance rather than other extraneous variables? So, dapat hindi nagbavari. Okay? And then the external validity as to what population, settings, treatment variables, measurement variable can this observed effect be generalized? So, ang tatanong nyo sa external validity, yung paano nyo i-treat, paano yung procedures na gagamitin nyo for your experimental research. Okay? Yung sa una, yung internal validity niya, yung konsepto na hindi mag-iiba yung independent variable niya. Mako-control mo siya. Yung external validity, yung nasa labas, dapat valid yan, yung i-a-apply mo. Hindi pa pwede, yung acid etchant mo, in-apply mo yung isa gel, yung isa liquid. Okay? Dapat pag-usapan nyo na lahat ng application is going to be gel or going to be liquid. Okay? Okay. So factors jeopardizing the internal validity, history, maturation, okay, retesting, and measuring instrument. Okay? So, kung pwedeng mag-iba, kapag nag-iiba yung pre-testing, yung measuring instrument nyo, okay, statistical regression rin. Ang problema kasi dito, you know about averaging, di ba, sa statistical treatment. Pag nag-average kasi ginigitna, kunyari, ang lowest 1, ang highest 4, pag in-average mo, 2. Pareho lang ang lalabas kapag lahat ng respondents mo, 2 ang nakuha, anong average ng 2? Diba? 4 ang nakuha, ang average. 2 ang nakuha, ang average ng 2. Okay? So, ang problema, pag yung nag-extreme, may mataas na mataas, may mababa. Kasi i-average mo yung gigit na. It will appear as if okay lang, pero actually, meron mga mababa. So, you have to do your statistical regression. Pinapagawa namin to sa statistician, hindi ko alam ito. And then, the differential selection. So, different individuals or group would have different previous knowledge or ability which can affect the final measurements if not taken into account. Okay? Kaya kung minsan mahirap ang experimental kasi natatanggal yung subjects nyo kasi ang daming considerations. Okay? Then, the experimental mortality. Kahit sa bacteria, yung example ko yung daga, nag-experiment sila on moringa as a pot-cutting material. Namatay yung mga daga niya, pa isa-isa. Yung final research, naiwan lang isa. Ang ganda ng result, kaya lang, hindi siya acceptable kasi isa lang yung kanyang subject. Ang ganda ng result. Nagkakaroon ng tertiary dentin. Si moringa. Inaano nila, pinapowderize, nilalagyan ng para maging paste na kaunting water. Okay? Tapos, nilalagay doon sa Sprague-Dawley rat, yung ganyan. rin ako sa daga. Ang problema niyo yan, kunyari, mag-observe kayo ng bacteria, matay lahat ng bacteria, wala. Ulit. That makes experimentation quite difficult. So, interaction of factors, okay? Such as combination of selection, maturation, etc. Factors may interact especially in multiple group comparison to produce erroneous measurements. Kunyari, nagkakaroon sila ng biases because of interaction with the other group. Diba? Kunyari, nagde-determine kayo ng pain, yung uminom ng gamot, hindi uminom ng gamot. If you keep these people at the same area, magkukwentuhan yan. So, nagkakaroon ng bias yung mga iba. So, nagkakaroon ng erroneous result. Okay. Tigil na tayo. Okay. So, I hope all the discussion will help you in writing your chapter 1 because you will need this. Okay? Next week, merong mag-online lang tayo. Okay? Kasi 23, wala kayong pasok. Diba? Wala kayong pasok. Okay, sa bahay kaya muna tayo. Okay? Kasi hindi tayo maliligo nun. Oo.
GA po next Saturday.
RGA ba? Ayun lang, papasok ako.